As Larry, Tashunka, and I packed up to leave camp, it was heavy on my mind that there was one last item I had yet to talk about. When it comes to walking sticks, I've made it a point over the years to never count them as pack weight, and for one very good reason. I don't carry them, they carry me. And so it's important that they be dependable and sturdy as well as affordable. For many years, I had convinced myself that using a single walking stick was more than adequate. And as a craftsman and woodworker, I always prided myself in finding and creating my own wooden walking sticks. But some time back, after I tried using 2 walking sticks, I became aware of the benefits and enhancements to both balance and stability that a single walking stick could not offer. And so soon after, I found myself pairing my homemade walking stick with an expensive collapsible trekking pole. They were an unmatched set, but I grew very attached to them over the years. So when Outdoor Products sent me their Apex trekking poles to review, I felt true apprehension when setting aside my trusted set, especially the heavier wooden walking stick. Falling is a major concern for the physically challenged, and reliable equipment walks hand in hand with those concerns. But then there's always affordability as well. After all, I've never met a walking stick that couldn't be broken by accident or by fate. My original collapsible hiking stick cost nearly $80 new for only a single trekking pole. But I was a working man then, and now that I'm living on a fixed income, it tends to bring out one's conservative side. So when I saw the perfectly matched set of Apex trekking poles cost roughly half of what I paid 20 years ago for one, I worried that they might not be up to the task. It occurred to me that I was going to have to look at this product through a different set of expectations. First, as a valued and trusted walking aid, and second, as an easily replaceable piece of equipment should it be broken on the trail. And from the first moment they hit the ground, the Apex trekking poles showed that they were up to the job. This matched and lightweight set of trekking poles felt remarkably sturdy on the trails, and when combined with ergonomic hand grips and the stiff shock absorbers, these features culminated into a very dependable and durable piece of equipment as the miles began to accumulate. Coming complete with 3 tip options, the Apex trekking poles impressed me as they felt adequately equipped to handle a variety of ground textures. And the twist lock mechanism made adjustment easy while concealing the locking mechanism and leaving nothing to catch or snag on passing brush. However, like many of us, on those bad pain days, even my big paws need some help.
As a person that has pain issues, I've had trouble at times being able to grip things, and for very long. I end up getting so much pain that I drop things. My hand just can't hang on to them. And so I kind of waited until I had a really bad day here so I could demonstrate this. And yes, I'm not doing well today at all. Just because you have a trekking pole like this does not mean that you cannot operate it anymore if you have hand issues. I've found a nice little tool that, believe it or not, you can find in most kitchens, especially for us who are having trouble. This works very well. These were actually courtesy of U.S. Pain Foundation, who has kindly donated these to the demonstration here. What's nice about this is I can just tuck this in my pocket. This folds up if I want, or I wear cargo pants a lot, so I can just tuck these right in. This fits very nicely. I don't even know what's in there. But what's nice about it is I can get a hold of this down here, and then I have the ability to grip a hold of it. And when I tighten, I don't even have to hardly hang on to it. It kind of does itself, It's like it really helps a lot to be able to do that, because if you don't have this screwed tight, you can actually have a very bad fall. So you need to make sure that these are tightened at all times when you're using them. If you can't do it yourself, turn to your hiking partner and say, hey, can you please, tighten this for me? What's really nice about this, though, because like I said, if you're having trouble, you can use two of them, and it really helps a lot, because that's a really sticky surface, and most kitchens have these, so that, we already use these already. I know I use the one in my kitchen an awful lot. My wife has arthritis in her hands, really bad, and I want her to try this. This should work very well for her. Okay. Now, when it comes to trekking poles, it's really important. This is so important to make sure these joints, each one of them, are checked. Every time you get back up from a break, every time you start out, you check them. You don't assume that they're ready to go, because over time, these loosen up. It just happens. It happens even on my expensive one. It still happens. And so it's important to check them. Don't just assume, hey, this thing's all tightened up, I'm ready to go, I tightened it at the car. Don't tell yourself that. Get with it and check, because, one fall and you're out of commission for a while. We know how bad it is when you fall, and then you have your issues on top of other issues. So I try my best to come home without any more issues, without any more issues to add to my problems. That's the goal, to go out there and have a good time, and to come back safe. Okay?
Over the last 9 months, the Apex Trekking Poles and I have covered some great miles together. And whereas I started out the summer wondering what rock or trail I would end up breaking them on, I ended it wondering if I would ever go back to my old set of unmatched walking sticks again. And that's a good question. But I guess you'll have to wait for episode 5 for the answer. As you know, I credit walking sticks for keeping me and getting me out on the trail. So it's very important that they be adjusted well too. So, just a couple of tips to help you. When it comes to adjusting your trekking pole, you want the height to give you that right angle on your arm. If it's too low, it's going to hurt you on the down slope. And if it's too high, it'll hurt you on the up slope. In the middle, it'll help you pull yourself uphill and absorb shock coming downhill. But if you're like this, you don't have much to play with there. And as well too, if you're too close to the ground, when you're going downhill, again, they won't help you much. A lot of times people will see me put my hand on top of my walking stick when I'm going downhill to give me added reach, so I can actually absorb the shock as I go downhill. Very important. If you follow these little tips, you'll find a lot less strain and struggle using your walking sticks or trekking poles. Banda shoppa.